Holy buckets. This is it. This is February 9th. This is the day we have been waiting for. I am so excited for today. We've been talking about today, leading up to today, and I'm really excited for today for a multitude of reasons. First of all, the content that I am going to talk to you about is amazing. I hope it's amazing. I spent a lot of time on it. I hope you guys find it super valuable. I hope it's just chock full of really good information to kind of help you on your collection journey, your collection goals, help you kind of fast track things a little bit, make sure that you're making your collection work for you. There's a lot of good information in here, so you can let me know in the comment section down below what you think. We're also giving away an entire master set of Paldean Fates in this video. In just a minute, we're going to be giving this away to one lucky subscriber. This thing has been sitting here just waiting to be given away. It is full with every single card, every reverse holo, every promo, everything that's been released so far. We are going to give that away to one of you in just a minute, and we are also going to announce our next giveaway. I'm really excited for the next giveaway. I told you guys that I wanted to do things a little bit differently. YouTube is so much fun. I love YouTube, but YouTube is it's ours, right? Like, YouTube is a lot of fun because I get to hang out with you guys. This sounds really lonely and really cliche. It's like hanging out with friends. Like, you guys are my friends. You guys are my family. Like, I really appreciate you guys so much. And this YouTube channel is ours. Like, that's what this has always been about. That's what this journey has always been about. And you guys are absolutely amazing. But as we continue to grow and as YouTube continues to pay out AdSense and things like that it all goes right back into growing this channel and doing things for you guys and making a difference. That's why we launched our merch site. If you haven't gone to fanmerch.com to pick up some merch, like that all goes back into the channel. That all goes into these big numbers that we are creating together, doing small things to make a big difference and a big impact. That's what it's all about. We started member giveaways. Next Wednesday we're going to be doing another member giveaway stream. Don't feel obligated to become a member, but just ways to give back. And I really wanted to focus more on collection goals, and that's why the next giveaway is it's financially based, and we're not giving away. So this is $1,000. We're not giving away $1,000, but we are going to utilize $1,000 so you can get a Grail, or you can get whatever it is that you are chasing in Pokemon. So we're going to do basically a collection goal giveaway. I don't know what it is because it's going to be fine tailored to whoever the winner is. So if you have something in mind up to $1,000, that is what we are going to give away next to one lucky subscriber. So if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button down below and then leave a like and a comment on this video. This is the video that you want to comment on. Leave a like, make sure you're subscribed, and we are going to announce that winner in 2 weeks, February 23rd, and I'm going to work with that winner and hopefully showcase what they wanted, what they spent that money on, because I don't want to give away just money. Like, that's not what this is all about. This is all about chasing collection goals and fast tracking that and helping you guys accomplish what those goals might be. So if you want to win, hit that subscribe button, leave a like, leave a comment. I'm going to stop talking about that one. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. That's really what I want to focus on in 2024. And now we're going to give away this thing right here before we jump into content. So the winner of the Paldean Fates Master Set. I did pin your comment down below. There were so many comments. Thank you guys so much for everything. Kobold, you are the winner. Congratulations. I'll work with you in the pinned comment, but I just need your information. If you could shoot that over to me. You can find me on Instagram at danny.phantom. You can find me on Twitter at danny__o, or you can just email me, dannyphantomcontent@gmail.com. I just need verification of your channel. I've got your comment pinned, and we'll work back and forth on that to make sure get everything verified by YouTube, and then get your Paldean Fates Master Set sent off to you. With that being said, let's jump into today's content. And I really started thinking about this a lot over the past couple weeks. Now, I own an online storefront, right? Like, I own an online LGS myself, my business partner, Papa Blastoise, who lives a state over from me, and we do everything online. We don't have a brick and mortar store, really. We do basically everything online out of warehouses and storage units and things like that. And we've been doing this for quite some time. And this all started out basically with just a dream and an idea of, like, utilizing Pokemon to try and make a couple extra dollars on a monthly basis. And that was was really what it was all about. We were both very passionate collectors. We really love our collection, chasing collection goals and things like that. And the way that you build up a business is really no different than the way that you build up your collection. I thought to myself, okay, well, what's the best way that I can explain to people, maybe people who have been into Pokemon for a while now, what's the best way that they can spend their money so they can stay in it? Because let's face it, the hobby can get very daunting. It can get very overwhelming. It can get very expensive, especially with the way that Pokemon pumps out new sets left and right all the time. We talked about this last week, but 4 main series sets a year, 2 specialty sets a year, it can become very overwhelming, and financially it can be very cumbersome. It can be a burden at times because you're like, well, I don't really want to get into this next set. I can't buy Paldean Fates because I want to get into Temporal Forces, so I'm going to have to save my money for Temporal Forces, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that as long as you make the best decisions when it comes to spending your collection dollars, your budget. Don't pay attention to all the FOMO. Don't pay attention to all the noise out there. This all started, this whole business, everything, my collection journey started with like 1,000 bulk cards, like 1,000 bulk commons and uncommons. That's how everything started. And taking that 1,000 bulk common and uncommon cards, going through those, pulling out staples, selling off the bulk, selling off the staples, moving in, trading into the next piece, trading into 2,000 commons, trading into 4,000, and working my way up. You know, it's the same thing as the analogy of how you eat an elephant, and you're doing it one bite at a time. This does not get built overnight. So when you're watching somebody like PokeRev or Leonhardt or somebody else on YouTube, or a content creator, or you're scrolling through Instagram or a different social media website, and you're seeing all these vintage boxes, or you're seeing all these slabs, or you're seeing all these things that you want as your collection goal, that can be you. It just takes time. It will take time. So don't worry about the financial side of things. Like, make sure you are making the best decision for you to stay in the hobby long term. If you get burdened down by the cost of things, you're not going to have fun anymore. And if you're not having fun, this hobby's not going to be enjoyable, and you are going to exit, and you're going to do something else, and you're going to lose that piece of you that makes you so happy when it comes to collecting cards. I know it sounds really corny. I know it does, but I've been there before. You cannot get bogged down on the financial side of things. So you need to pay really close attention to it. Once your mind only starts focusing on that and how much money you're like, make the best decisions when it comes to spending your collection dollars. And we're going to talk about that in this video. That was a bit of a long-winded intro, but I really want to make sure that I hammer home the point of taking your time and enjoying the hobby, enjoying the artwork. There's so many great things and so many different niches, so many different areas that you can really embark on when it comes to collecting Pokemon cards. It needs to be fine-tuned to you. It needs to be tailored to you. And one of the reasons that it's important to watch content and look around is because it might spark another interest you have in a different area of the hobby, but you don't want to focus on the fact that you don't have that. You want to focus on the journey to get there, and it'll happen. It just takes a little bit of time. So this is just a basic spreadsheet right here. So this is something that I do all the time. This is very probably like old school of me. Like, I like to write things down. I really like having spreadsheets. I really like tracking data and tracking numbers and things like that, because that helps me make the best decisions when it comes to spending my collection dollars. So right now this is just in a Google Sheet. You can put this in an Excel document. You could just do this in your phone if you really wanted to. But here I just put a couple of cards up here that are cards that maybe I might want to chase. Maybe cards that I want to add to my collection. This could be anything. You could make a long list. A lot of times I will have 50, 75 cards laid out all over the place with hyperlinks attached to them, target prices that I'm looking for, so that way I can kind of click through things. I will email it to myself. I'll put it in my notes in my phone, and I'll just constantly check it a few times throughout the day. You know, whether maybe I'm just sitting around, maybe I'm making dinner, maybe I'm just waiting for the water to boil, and I'll just check my phone and just see, okay, well, is this card at the price point that I'm looking for? Is this card at the price point that I'm willing to pay? Because the best thing that you can do for your collection is to build it up as cheaply as you possibly can, to make sure that you're spending the least amount of money in your collection goals. You don't want to overspend on stuff. Like, we have all these instances over the past year where you have products that have skyrocketed, whether it be natural or unnatural, and you see tag teams and alternate arts that have shot up through the roof at random times because of, you know, it could be because of influence, it could be because of short-lived demand, it could be one of a million different reasons, but it might not necessarily be natural, and you want to make sure that you find the best time and the best price point in order to spend your collection dollars. And if you miss out, this is the important thing. If you miss out, if it doesn't come down to that goal price, then you miss out. And that's okay. There is nothing wrong with missing out on that Latias and Latios alternate art. There is nothing wrong with missing out on that Magikarp and Wailord alternate art. Don't let yourself get bogged down because you missed that chase card. There will be other chase cards. There will be other grails. There will be other goals that you have moving forward with other cards. So if you miss out on something, if you missed out on that Ultra Premium collection from Celebrations because you couldn't find it in stores for $120, that's okay. There's going to be other pieces that you are going to be more excited about down the road. And that's the important thing to remember, because Pokemon is going to continue to put out fire. Like, that's going to continue to happen. So making sure that you stay in the hobby and don't get bogged down by overspending or anything like that, that's really important. So like I said, this is just a basic spreadsheet. This is really easy right here. Basically, you just have a market price here. So let's just take this Golden Go, for example, the Golden Go Special Illustration Rare. This is from Paradox Rift. Right now, it's got a market price of about $32. Your target price for that, it can be whatever you want. Maybe you're okay paying $32. Maybe you only want to pay $30. Maybe you want to pay $27, $26. Maybe you want to pay, based off of a percentage. If you're a storefront, you probably want to buy somewhere around 60%. If you're a collector, maybe you want to buy around 80%. This is about 80% right here. $25.60 is about 80% of that $32 price point. And then I just insert hyperlinks in. I insert. You can just put the links if you want. I just don't like it because there's too many characters. So I just have one to eBay and one to TCG Player. And when I click that link, it shows me eBay. I have it filtered to buy it now, shipping, price plus shipping the lowest. And then it'll just tell me, okay, right now there's one for $31, but it's got $5.40 shipping. Okay, over here there's one for $32.89, but it's got $5.40 shipping. So together, that's going to put me way over that $32 market price, but also way over my target price of only about $25, $26. So then I might change this to auction, and I might change this to ending soonest. Okay, well, what does it look like as far as bids go? Okay, well, I've got one here that ends in 10 hours and 42 minutes that's selling currently for $23.50. Well, maybe then I'll go in and I'll watch that auction, or maybe I'll go in and I'll bid on that auction. And a lot of times this doesn't work. A lot of times you don't get anything. You might go the entire course of a week and you might never hit your target price, but that's okay. Every once in a while it will work, and that's when things matter. That's when it matters the most. If you look over here, I've also got a link to TCG Player. You can do basically any hyperlink that you want. If you want to buy cards off of Mercari, Amazon, you can add other hyperlinks in here. I will have other hyperlinks that go basically across the entire spreadsheet of a page, so that way I can see how things are doing. You can see the market price right now selling for $31.53, but the lowest one on TCG Player right now is $30.93. So am I okay buying it, a dollar under what the market price is? Probably not. Maybe you are, but right now that's what it's available for. So then I don't buy it, and then I just move on. Okay, well, maybe I'll look at the Charizard Special Illustration Rare, or I just go from there and just list out a bunch of different cards that I might be chasing at the time. Inserting hyperlinks is very, very simple. Let's say you want to find the Mew EX, the Bubble Mew from Paldean Fates. You just go here. Okay, well, here's the Mew EX. Right now you can see it's got a market price of $134.02. We're just going to copy that address over here. We're going to go over to our Google Sheet, and then we're just going to click this button right here, insert the link right here. So we're going to Control V it there. We're going to go into the text, and we're going to say Mew EX TCG Player, and then we're going to put it right there. And then that's what we'll do, and then we can just click on that, and it'll take us right to that page. So we can just quickly glance through. It's all about time. It's all about efficiency. This hobby is a lot of fun, but you want to make sure that you're making the best decisions. You're making the most efficient use of your time and things like that. This is how you can continue to grow your collection at a more rapid pace, rather than just opening up a bunch of packs. Opening packs is fun, and that's a lot of enjoyment in the hobby, but that's not all there is to collecting Pokemon cards. If you want to do it seriously, if you just want to casually open some packs, there's nothing wrong with that. There's a place for you here. There's plenty of packs out there. Have fun with it. But if you're looking at filling out binders, filling out collection goals, this is one thing that you can do to really make a difference. So that's basically what I'll do when it comes to buying cards and just trying to find out. There's different Facebook groups, there's different Discords, there's different Instagrams, there's all these different sales platforms that you can kind of list all over the place to find your target price when it comes to buying cards. The other thing that I really want to hammer home is that there is everything that Pokemon produces is going to have some sort of value attached to it. It may not have a whole lot of value to you, but it is going to have value to other people. So you get a lot of stuff when you buy a Pokemon collection box or a Pokemon Elite Trainer box. You get code cards, you get ETB sleeves, you get pins, you get dice, you get jumbos, and maybe you're somebody who's only interested in the cards, and all you do basically is you throw your sleeves in a box, you throw your coins in a box, you throw your pins in a box, you throw your codes in a box, and you just have all this stuff that that just kind of builds and builds and builds over time. So there's a lot of stuff that you can do with all that. The first thing that you can do is you can donate it. You can give it away. You could give it to your local league. You could donate it to a children's hospital. There's a lot of people who don't have these things that will make a really good donation, that will make a very good impact, a big impact in other people's lives. Maybe people do want to play the competitive game. Maybe they do want to learn the competitive game, but they don't have the money to go out and buy collection boxes or packs or anything like that. So giving your code cards away to somebody else might make a big difference. But if you have a large amount of them and you've exhausted your donating possibilities, or you're not interested in taking that avenue, there are outlets where you can sell your code cards. You can move off those code cards. So here is Card Cavern. Code cards don't go for as much as they used to go for, but we have Card Cavern at the top here. You've got Sell Poke Cards. This is an app that you can use. I have used this app before. It's a very, very good app, a very easy app. It's got a scanner attached to it, so you just scan in your code. It digitally sends it over to Sell Poke Cards, and they pay you out via PayPal, usually in a day or two, but they pay a different percentage based off of every single product that's out there, every single pack that's out there, and some of them actually don't do too badly. Like if you look here, you've got the Trainer Toolkit, the Arceus, they pay $1 out on those. You've got the Quaquavel EX deck box or deck right there. That's $1.50 for that code. The Meowscarada is also at $1.50. So there's different options out there. And the important thing that I also want you to remember is a lot of stores, a lot of places will offer a cash option and a credit option. And we're going to talk more about that credit option in just a minute, because that is the game saver when it comes to all this. Here's another one right here, the Poke Awesome Code Catcher. You can download this app as well. It's not going to be a lot. It's not going to be a ton, but if you've got, 100, 200 codes lying around, you might be able to get $2, $3, $4, $5 enough for a booster pack. And I know that sounds silly because it's really nothing. Like, that is not that much. It could help you when you trade stuff in to build your collection to get to that next goal, to get to that. Again, it's the whole how do you eat an elephant mentality and doing little things at a time. The rest of that stuff that's out there, there are buyers for all of it, whether it be your pins, whether it be your ETBs, whether it be your jumbos, whether it be your coins. This is Burbank City Pokemart. There's a lot of different Facebook places that you can go, a lot of different Instagram places that you can go, a lot of different Discords that you can go to, where there are storefronts who buy all of this stuff in bulk. So you can see right here, I just snipped a few different options here. We've got the jumbos right here. So not your first partner ones, but your jumbos maybe. So the new collection boxes that just came out with the Skeledirge and the Meowscarada and the Quaquavel that come out for Paldean Fates. If you bought, a case of those, if you bought a couple cases of those and you've got jumbos just lying around, those are 50 cents each in bulk to this buyer right here. Pins, you get pins all over the place in a lot of different collection boxes. Those can be sold for 50 cents each right here. Another thing that I thought was really interesting is Japanese bulk. A lot of people open up Japanese bulk but don't have an outlet for it, and this isn't a lot. Again, this is not a lot. This is only half a cent or $5 per thousand. You need 1,000 Japanese cards in order to get just $5. And I know that sounds silly because you're already shipping and things like that. Shipping is going to play a huge factor in things, but that's why you want to make sure you have several thousand built up before you were to send it in. But at least it's an outlet, because right now maybe it's just taking up clutter, and maybe you don't have any place that you can donate it to, and maybe you want to unclutter a little bit. There are options out there where you can move off of a lot of this stuff. Here's another one right here, Pokemon coins, 10 cents each for the plastic ones. You have Pokemon dice, 10 cents each for the plastic ones. If you're like me and you've opened up a lot of Elite Trainer boxes in your lifetime, you might have a lot of coins and a lot of plastic dice that are just kind of lying around still in their sealed envelopes. I've seen pictures of people who have bins full of those. You can put those to use. You can move them around. Maybe you can even find somebody locally who will take them. Pokemon pins, $1 to $2.50 each. So making sure that you look around. This last one was only buying pins at 50 cents each. This person is paying $1 to $2.50. The Pokemon playmats. We've had a lot of products that have had Pokemon playmats. If you've opened up a bunch of Crown Zenith, you've got those more Morpeko ones. If you open up a lot of the Charizard Ultra Premium collection, you've got a lot of those. There's a lot of playmats that have been introduced and thrown into the market. This person is paying $3 to $5 each. Pokemon figurines, like the Arceus figure, a lot of different figures that are out there, $1 to $4 each. Here's another one over here, Japanese reverse holo and holo, $30 per 1,000, so 3 cents a piece. That's not too bad compared to the other one. So if you've got a lot of reverse holos lying around in Japanese, here's another outlet right here. Pokemon pins, $1 each. Pokemon sleeves, 80 cents a piece. So 80 cents for each of your Elite Trainer boxes. And the important thing to remember is a lot of these places are storefronts that will offer you better deals to trade. This is called a Pokemon trading card game, and I think a lot of people lose sight of that. If you want to build your collection, being able to sell off, let's say you've got 100 Elite Trainer Box sleeves, 100 packs of them, well, that's worth, what, $8. But maybe if you trade it in, it can be worth $13, $14, $15, somewhere around there. So talk to your local game store or talk to the company or place where you might be trading stuff in. They might offer more for credit, and we're going to talk more about that in just a second here. This is Troll and Toad's buy list. There's a lot of buy lists that are out there. There's a lot of hot buy lists out there that are basically paying full market price. And when we talk about trading things in and getting an additional price on top of that, make sure you have your collection work for you. So maybe you're somebody who just really likes focusing on collecting ultra rares, or maybe you're somebody who really likes focusing on collecting a certain kind of ultra rares, or maybe you're only going through master sets. You're going to have duplicates, you're going to have triplicates. They are doing you no good just sitting in bulk boxes. I promise that. We had a situation with Iono, which we just talked about yesterday. Iono, which was $3, $3.20 per copy, where you could have traded those in probably for $2, $2.50 up until about a month ago, and you would have been able to utilize all those extra copies of Iono that you have to buy or trade for another piece of your collection. Or maybe you want to collect a booster box of some sort. You could have traded in all of your extra Iono. It's a fairly common card to pull that did have a little bit of value to it. And we talk about bulk cards to pull out all the time, making sure you're going through, don't waste your time, making sure you're going through and pulling those cards out and then putting them to work for you, so that way you can trade them in and possibly get a little bit more for them in trade credit versus just selling. So we're looking through the number on the right hand side here is the market price of what these cards are all going for. And again, this is just Troll and Toad. I'm not affiliated with Troll and Toad, but it's nice that they put a hot buy price on their website. There's a lot of different websites that do this. I think Full Grip Games does this as well. I know they do it at events, but lots of different outlets that you can use to basically trade to get your collection dollars to go further. So we've got a Crown Zenith Roxanne at the top there. They're buying it for $4.50. It's currently selling for $6.35. So close to 80% on that one. But if you go down a little bit and you look at the Charmeleon, they're paying $13 for that Charmeleon. It's selling for $15.60. So that's closer to 90% on that one. If you look at the Clara Full Art promo from those milk cartons, they're paying $4 on those. It only sells for $4.25. So they're paying very close to market value on that one. The Arvin Special Illustration Rare, they're paying $9.73 for it. They'll buy 7 of them, and it's currently selling for $9.92. So basically, they're paying full market value on that one. Same thing with the Rare Candy right below it. Same thing with the Bills Transfer Full Art right below that. You've got the Erica's Invitation. That's just the full art that they're paying $10 on. The Giovanni's Charisma that they're paying $4.74 on. The Pikachu Illustration Rare, they're paying $16 on. The Psychic Energy Gold Card, $4.25. It's only selling for $4.81, so really close there. The Psyduck, they've got the Switch on there for $4, and they've got Switch cards. They're buying Switch cards at $1.75. It's only selling for $1.94. So if you've got, 10 Switch cards lying around in your bulk box, pulling those out, well, that's $20 basically that you'll be able to get for that card. And if you put it in trade, you put it in credit, that might be getting you closer to getting that grail piece that you want. And that's why it's always important to look at this number right here. We offer up to a 25% bonus when choosing web credit as payment. So this is just Troll and Toads. They've been around in the game. They've been one of the biggest in the game for a very long time. So they've got a lot of this all figured out. But when it comes to trading off your cards, I know a lot of people have talked about selling off pieces of their collection, and they'll go to their local game store and they get mad because they get offered 50, 60%. That's kind of the way that things have to work for those game stores in order to make a living, in order to make margins. However, if you go up to them and you talk to them about, well, what about trade? What can I trade this in for? Can I get more in trade? A lot of times they will give you 75, 80% because that works out for their margins a lot better. They're able to hit their margins on the card that they're trading out, and they're able to hit their margin on their card that they're bringing in. And it works out a lot better in most cases for LGSs, and that's why they'll offer more for trading credit, because they know that money is staying in-house versus going and being spent, at a different store down the street, or maybe at Target or Walmart or wherever. So make sure when it comes to your collection, trading is the most important thing you can do to grow your collection. It is called, like I said, the Pokemon trading card game. You want to make sure when we're talking about things to pull out of your bulk, and if you're not a member of some of these Discord groups, or if you're not a member of some of these Facebook groups, I highly recommend joining them, because a card that might not be of a lot of importance to you, like a Raikou V, might be a lot of importance to somebody who's trying to build a Miraidon deck. Might be really important to somebody who's out there going to an event, going to locals, wants to play the game competitively, and those cards are selling for $10, $11 a piece right now, and that it's just a basic Raikou V basic bulk or basic regular art card. Like, you might have 2, 3, 4 of them lying around that somebody can really utilize to help what their goals are. And you could trade stuff off and maybe add a special illustration rare or add a cheaper alternate art to your collection and continue to build up and work your way to that goal. But you have to make sure your collection is working for you. That's the best way that you're going to be able to grow. That's the fastest way that you're going to be able to grow, and making sure that you're constantly looking at this all the time. It's one thing to collect and just open up packs. Like, that's fine, and it's a lot of fun to open up packs. It's very, very enjoyable. I understand the chase. That can be really enjoyable as well. But basically everything that you've opened needs to be going to work for you to accomplish whatever those goals are. And I know it sounds a little bit overwhelming, and it can be, but it really depends on what the goals are of yourself. So if you're somebody who really wants to grow a big Pokemon collection, and you're watching a content creator and you're like, oh, I want that. I want those, that vintage box, or I want to buy a first edition Charizard from the base set. Whatever your goal might be, it can be you. Like, it really can be. It takes time. So don't freak out. Take your time, enjoy the hobby, and watch the journey. We are just so accustomed to overnight success, overnight things that need to happen all the time. That is not the name of this game. It is slow, it is steady, it is working the process and things like that, and then the process will work for you. I've talked for a very long time. Holy buckets. I hope I didn't lose you guys. I mean, maybe I did. I hope you guys are still here. But thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please hit that subscribe button down below. Leave a like, leave a comment. It goes a really long way for the algorithm. I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything. I wouldn't be here without you. I'll talk to you again tomorrow. Until next time, peace.